All right. Oh my goodness. My drawer is not working. Okay, we are gonna get started. So it's getting warmer finally. Aren't you guys excited?
Success.
I know, except I got sunburned so bad on Saturday because it wasn't like super hot. And I sat through 2 soccer games, so if you get real close to me, I'm like I look like a lizard. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna be doing a couple different recipes today, and I was really excited about these. I love citrus recipes, but I don't make them a lot in the winter. I like them more in the warmer weather. So we're doing that, and we're doing a barbecue chicken salad, and it's a complete meal by itself. There's a few different things that we need to do for the recipe, like we make our own barbecue sauce. There are a few barbecue sauces out there that are keto friendly. I am a little bit snooty when it comes to sweeteners. I don't like artificial sweeteners, and I know a lot of people use them on keto. I don't, and that's for other reasons. So I'm going to show you how I make my barbecue sauce, and I love my barbecue sauce. And we are going to go ahead and start with our cream citrus tart. And the reason I was like, should I call it a lemon tart? And they don't even look like tarts because I do it the easy way and I put it in an 8-inch pan. But I will be getting little tart pans soon, and we'll try it in there. I just don't have them yet. I know there's a kitchen. See, there's a lot of gadgets I still don't have. Okay, so what I have in here is I have 2 cups of whipping cream, and I'm going to turn it on kind of a medium-high heat, and I'll watch it, and I'm just going to add some sweetener. And this is a granulated sweetener. This one is a blend of monk fruit and boca sweet. And let me just show you, because people always ask me, I just mix them in here. I do like a pound of boca sweet, 2 pounds of the Lakanto granulated monk fruit, mix it in there, and it's like my favorite granulated sweetener. So that's how I do that. So we're gonna get this going because we want this to thicken and reduce down a little bit. So that's gonna start boiling, and then we'll simmer it. Over here, we're gonna start our barbecue sauce. So in here is just a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, okay? So I'm gonna turn this heat on, and I'm gonna start adding things. I've got water, and I have vinegar, white wine vinegar. I had to look at that to see what it was. Apple cider vinegar. In here I have a mixture. We can show them. This is actually mostly golden monk fruit. Doesn't look like it. You could use golden swerve too. It's kind of your brown sugar, right? And then I have just a little bit of boca sweet mixed in to prevent crystallizing. So if something calls for like a 1/2 cup, and it's not my blend, I don't typically have that in a blend because I don't use it all the time. What I did is I took the 1/2 cup and I filled it up almost to the top, then I topped it off with the boca. Just enough to make a difference. So, that's my formula. That is my magic formula. Okay, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter here. And then in here, I have garlic powder, onion powder, mustard, salt, and cayenne pepper. This recipe for the barbecue sauce is in Make It Keto if you have it. If you don't have it, I did attach it to the bottom of this recipe since you need it. So
does the cayenne pepper make it hot?
Not too hot. No, you could make it hotter if you wanted it to be spicier, but it's not too hot. It just adds the right amount of flavor. Yes?
If it says bring them on camera, am I supposed to do anything?
No. They would be very surprised if you brought them on camera. That's a feature Facebook has. 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and that's what gives it that smoky flavor. So what I'm gonna do is the same thing. We're gonna kind of bring this to a boil, and then once it's to a boil, I'm just gonna simmer it for about 15 minutes. So I actually mixed our chicken already with a barbecue sauce that was cold. This salad, you could have it with hot chicken. I like it with cold, and I like to make a couple salads at a time so you can have them ready to go. My kids absolutely love barbecue chicken salad. So they love it, and they all make it a little different because they're all picky about different things. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do while both of those are going, I just made a crust, that's why it's dirty. I had to pre-make a crust. So in here, we're gonna make the crust to our citrus cream tarts. Now, if you didn't have tart pans and you didn't want to use the 8-inch square, you could do 12 muffin liners. that would be totally fine. And then just peel them off. I did them like that the other day, but it looked like a cheesecake to me. And I didn't want it to look like a cheesecake. So I need some tart liners. El Pronto. I would have had them by today, but Amazon couldn't guarantee them to me in 2 days.
Oh.
Okay, so that is our sweetener and our salt going in here. We have our almond flour. Then in the refrigerator, I have some cold butter. And you want to make sure this is cold. We're going to just mix it up in here. If you don't have a food processor, use your hands in a bowl and just mix it until it resembles fine, like sand. That's all you're going to do. So I'm going to turn this on until it resembles fine sand. It's a lot easier. You still see a chunk of butter in there. Look at that. My chunks about. Ah! I need an assistant in the kitchen today. Okay, we got that to a boil, so now I'm going to turn it to low. And you don't want to walk in the other room where this is going, because it does that. It grows really quick. You want to make sure you have your eyes on it. Okay, giving that a little stir, and I'm turning that to low. We're going to let them both simmer. I'm going to do this with my butter and break it up. This is more than sand, it'll still work. You know why it will? Because we're not using gluten. Otherwise it gets a little bit trickier, it gets tougher. And here's the really cool thing. I'm not even going to be using this crust for a citrus tart because I already have one made for tonight and I already have one pre-made in the fridge. Like that's a lot of tart when I have to do 3 of a batch. So when yours looks like sand, because you didn't mix it as long as I did, you're just going to put it around in the bottom of your pan. But you know what I'm going to make with this? I'm going to try and do Twix bars. Ooh. So you'll know if they worked out because you'll see them in an upcoming class if they worked out. Okay, so we're just going to press this into the bottom. And I'll tell you, it takes about 15 minutes to bake in the oven at 350 degrees. So just kind of keep your eye on it. You're looking for a light golden brown, and then you're going to bring it out and let it completely cool. Okay, questions? Questions? Okay, into the oven it goes. How are we simmering over there? We're doing pretty good. So this whipped cream and sweetener, it's similar to the same process you would do to make a condensed milk, except I didn't add like the butter in it, and I'm not adding the vanilla to this, I'm adding it to the main recipe. So we're gonna really simmer that down a little bit more. And it can take about 15 minutes on a gas stove. On an electric, it probably will take a little bit longer. So just be prepared for that. Okay, now let's move all of this good stuff over here. So this is, we're just gonna say salad bar style. You guys are gonna actually make your own salads tonight because I thought our group was supposed to be bigger than we ended up. And I'm like, that is a lot of salads to be putting together in front of all of you. So let me show you. And the cool thing about this is if there's other things your family likes, put them out. I can get these containers, so you can go to the dollar store and get 4 of these with the lid for $1. Okay? It's pretty awesome. Like my kids will take these, we'll pre-make them at the beginning of the week, they'll take them to lunch. For school. They can just grab them. You can grab them. People who are looking for easy lunches to do, there's so many varieties of salads you can do. And what I love about the salad is that it's totally a complete meal. So you've got everything in there. You've got your protein and everything else. So I'm going to direct you to the tortilla chip video if you want to know how I did these tortilla strips, because it's the exact same way. I didn't fry them. I baked them. And I didn't separate them into little strips before I baked them I cut them all, left them there, baked them. They came out cooled, and they just break right apart like they've been stored. So what I wanted to show you is the seasoning that I used. I just got this new seasoning last week at Trader Joe's. It's called chili lime seasoning, and it is delicious. So once I had them out, I completely coated them with it, and then I flipped it and coated the other side, and then baked it. Do you guys want to try them?
Sure.
They're pretty good. They have a lime flavor to them, but they complement with the dressing and the sweet barbecue sauce really, really well. So you can fry them in lard too. If you want to fry them, I would probably season them afterwards because I'm thinking it would all come off. Your chicken for this salad can be any chicken you choose. So if you have leftover chicken, this is a great use for it. I like getting the rotisserie chicken that's already cooked and pulled off at Costco sells. I always usually have that in my fridge. There's grilled chicken breast strips you can buy. You can bake your chicken. It just doesn't matter. You could probably use canned chicken, except I'm not a huge fan. It reminds me of tuna fish, and I don't like anything from the sea. So, sorry, that is a truth about me you should know. So, since I have gloves, I'm going to use my hands. I usually figure about 2 cups of salad per meal. You know, have more if you want more. It's not going to hurt you. And then what we do, like, it's so funny because when I'm at the treatment center, like if we're having a family group and we have tons of people, we'll just lay this out and make like 50 salads at once. And so we assembly line it. But what I'm gonna do, I already have the barbecue sauce here on the chicken, which this makes awesome barbecue chicken pizza, by the way. Okay. Then let me rinse my hands since I'm gonna use my hands. That way I don't get all that stuff in there. Okay, so what I like to do when I make them, and then the recipe I'm like, use your artistic ability, do whatever you want. I don't like the same colors next to each other. Like I like to spread them out and make it look really pretty, because I'm a caterer, remember?
Yes.
We must have pretty. Then I'll do some olives here. And then I left the red onion covered because my whole house smelled like onion a little bit ago. So I'm going to do the red onion here. And then you have some avocado that you can put right on there too. So check it out.
Pretty.
You can just make your own salad. And then you can top it with your crunchy tortilla strips. So it's amazing. You guys, come on. People who are not doing keto are jealous. If you take this for lunch, don't put your chips on it till right before you eat it. They will sogify. Okay, as far as dressings go, you know, I try to be as whole food as I can when I'm doing keto. I make mayonnaise, but I'll be honest with you, I buy mayonnaise too. Sometimes I buy the 100% avocado mayo, and sometimes I have Best Foods mayo in there. I just do. And so that's just the life I live. But there are dressings that are 100% clean. So like Primal Kitchen dressings are freaking awesome. They are. I like to take them, and sometimes I'll add things to them and change them up a little bit. But this one's a good one. It's a barbecue ranch style dressing, and I have it here, so you can try that if you want. Then here, and this is made with homemade mayo, but I used a packet, the Spicy Ranch. I think it's the Hidden Valley Spicy Ranch. Okay. And I did this here, and the way I make it is I do 1 cup of mayo, a half a cup of whipping cream, and a half a cup of water. If you do a full cup of whipping cream in place of the milk, it will be thick like a sour cream, which is great for a dip. But when you want a dressing and you want it to pour a little bit more, do half water. And then I add just a splash of cayenne pepper, but it's not enough to make it too hot. Plus dairy kind of takes away that heat. So you have 2 dressings here you can try. And if neither one of those interest you, I even have some ranch in the fridge. So we're gonna leave this here for a minute, and we are gonna go back here to our somewhat condensed milk. See how it's gotten thicker? You guys are welcome to get up and look if you want. Gets a little bit thicker there. I could go a little bit longer, but it's fine. This recipe is actually a recipe I made all the time with canned condensed milk, pre-keto, and I really missed it. And so the other day, you know when it was, when we did the peanut butter caramel bars, I had an extra crust, and I'm like, I already have 2 pans of caramel bars. I don't want to make another one. So I'm like, I'm going to finally try that recipe. So here's what I do. You come right here. Hey, come on in. So, Linda, you can come over here. You'll get a better view over here. So I'm going to take my blender here, and I'm going to add in cream cheese. Now, if your condensed milk variation is cold, make sure this is really, really softened. But I have this really cool situation here where I've got hot milk and this bomb of a blender that my husband got for me. Well, it's for him, for me. I'm just going to pour that right over the top of it because it's going to melt it as I blend. And this is going to go in for about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to add vanilla and lemon juice. Super, super easy. Okay, so it gets it really, really, really creamy. You can see the steam coming off. Which apparently this blender can make soup. Isn't that cool? I've never done it. Okay, I'm gonna add about a 1/3 cup of fresh lemon juice. You can use lemon juice from your fridge if you have like a bottle. Wow, that's awesome.
You planned it.
I did not plan that. That is sweet. And then we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla. And blend that back up. Now, lemons come with different tartness. Sometimes they're sweeter and sometimes they're not, so you're gonna have to taste it. You want this dessert to be a little bit tart, and the sweetened condensed milk will do most of the work, but sometimes I have to add a little bit more sweetener. So I'm gonna get a spoon so I can taste it. And I gotta remember it's super hot. Or it'll burn my mouth. Actually, I think it's okay this time. Earlier to the other one, I added about a tablespoon. So when that crust comes out of the oven, it can all cool together. I could wait for the crust to cool, but I'm gonna pour this in it, and then I'm just gonna let it cool. I'll let it sit for a minute just so this doesn't cook to the side of the pan. This is gonna pour in, and then it's gonna refrigerate for a couple hours, at least. And it gets really firm. So let me show you what the end result looks like. Don't get my fridge. Oh my gosh, Linda, it's so bad. You guys are gonna laugh too. I made these so cute. And the whipped cream, I should have waited to make them. But it's really good with like a single slice of strawberry, and that's nothing when it comes to carbs. It's just enough to add the flavor, but you can see how firm it is.
Yeah.
It's like a baked cheesecake. It's awesome. So I cannot wait. When I do them with the Tart pans, I'll let you guys see. I'm gonna ask for those for my Mother's Day weekend.
There you go.
It's my birthday weekend too, so I take full advantage. Okay. Any questions at all?
Simple, easy.
Super simple, easy. Keto doesn't have to be hard. And the thing is, like for this salad, just so you know, there are so many, you could do so many variations. You can do Cobb salad, and if you have this cut up at the beginning of the week, you're set for the whole week, and you can just add different meats, different whatever. You can put brisket on it, all sorts of things. So don't, add your fat to it too. Anyway, if there's no questions, we'll say goodbye to everybody else there so we can build salads here.
Okay.
So they have brisket